Oh, the new shotgun! A one shot! Woo, 170! Alright. Oh! What the? Ooh, 150.
Okay. That was too bad.
The real question, can you quadruple pump? The answer's not really. Alright, yo, what is up, guys? So, the new legendary shotgun, in fact, we're just going to be picking it up right now, and you guys will get some gameplay of it. But anyways, I really wanted to make this video to talk about all of the new changes in the latest Fortnite patch 5.2, as well as talk about the new shotgun, because that's the big new feature in the latest patch. As well as go over the damage integers, because I think the most important thing that everyone wants to know, is it good and how much damage does this new shotgun do? Well, we've got the gold version of it over here. We're going to farm up over here. Last night, in fact, there's a lot of issues. People were disconnecting, but I'm sure it's probably fixed now. I was just playing. As soon as the new shotgun came out, I wanted to get you guys some gameplay. But anyways, first off, new shotgun, it's added into the game. It's the new double barrel shotgun. And let's go ahead and go over its stats and like where you can actually find it. So it actually comes in two different versions. It comes in the epic and legendary, which means purple and gold. You can find it on the floor. You can find it in chests, supply drops, as well as vending machines. It says it delivers a high burst damage at very close range, but damage falls off heavily at distance. So this shotgun, what it tries to do is it tries to excel at very, very close quarters. As you guys will see, when you have it out, the square on which the pellets will go in is huge, even if you're aiming down sights. One excellent example would be comparing the pump shotgun to the heavy shotgun. The square is much smaller, as the spread, look at that spread on it. That's huge. But again, that is kind of the point of this. So it fires 10 pellets like other shotguns, but it has a larger spread, lower critical damage multiplier. So that means it does less damage than other guns for the multiplier. Usually it's like 2.5 or 2. But it also has a 2-second cooldown time when swapping weapons, which I already showed you guys in like the intro clip, which was a question that I was wondering myself, is could you quad pump, which means like you would shoot twice with one legendary double barrel shotgun, or epic, doesn't really matter, but you shoot twice with a double barrel. Can you get another double barrel and shoot twice again? The answer is no, unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, because that would be maybe a little bit too OP, but the real question is how much damage does this thing do? And it actually does 143 base damage per shot at extreme close range. So that means maximum damage you can do is 143 with the purple version, which multiplied times 1.25, which will give you the integer of 178.75. But I'm pretty sure how Fortnite works is it rounds down in integers. But that means 178 damage. So it will not one pump someone with the epic or legendary variant, because 150 times 1.25 is going to be 187.5, but again, Fortnite usually rounds down an integer, so it's 187 damage is the most that you're going to be hitting with this gun. So you can't take out someone with 200, total health. But anyways, that's health, obviously, including shields. But there's a lot more other changes that I want to go over with you guys, so you guys can understand what else is actually new here. So, in addition to getting the new gun, there's a lot more stuff to go over. So first off, the vending machine rebalance. So vending machines are actually cheaper now, and you're going to be able to get less common vending machines. So the spawn chance is reduced from 7 to 6%. So it's just like 1%. It's a small difference, but overall I think the quality of life is much better. But the most important thing is material cost is reduced across the board quite a bit over here. So material cost, you guys can see, is reduced from 100 to 75 for the common. The uncommon, they actually spawn a little bit higher over here, up to about a little over 5% higher to see an uncommon vending machine. And then the material cost is reduced from 200 to 150. And then the rare vending machine, it's up by another 5%. And the material cost is reduced from 300 to 225. So that's going to make vending machines much better. That's a huge buff to vending machines. And then in addition to that, the epic vending machine is going to be, the spawn chances from 5% to 18%. That's huge, all right? And then material cost is reduced by 100, and then the legendary vending machine, the spawn chance is increased from 3.64 to 8%. That's more than double the spawn chance of legendary vending machines, and the resource cost is reduced from 500 to 375. So this is much better because generally, like, it was very expensive to get some of these stuff in the vending machine, so it's just quality of life. And then it also says chance for no vending machine to spawn at location reduced from 54% to 26%. So basically what this means is effectively vending machines are buffed ×2 as far as them spawning in the first place. So how it usually rolls in games, now I'm not positive on this, is the vending machine would have to spawn. Look at that, 0 damage. No, it was actually 160. That's just how it like looks. But anyways, the chance for no vending machine to actually spawn, it should be worded as in like chance for vending machine spawn from 26% to 54%. That would make more sense to most of you guys, but for the most part, it's almost like double the chance for vending machines, and they're reduced across the board. So huge buffs for vending machines, like I mentioned before. And then also technically nerfed the remote explosives. That is the C4. It's already technically been nerfed already. I covered it in the last patch notes, which basically it's harder to deal damage with it, but they also reduced the stack size and the max stack size, which, like, it's getting nerfed so hard. Like, most people don't really use it as often anymore in the first place. So basically, before you used to get 4, and now you're only getting 3, and the maximum amount that you can carry in your inventory used to be 10, but it is now 6. And then there's, it said added higher accuracy penalty to jumping and sprinting for dual pistols, submachine guns, and hunting rifles. So basically, before when you guys would try to go for those no-scope victory royales, well, that's going to be a little bit harder to do now. And there's basically accuracy penalty, but I would say it might not be that big of a deal for the other guns because, well, I mean, there's Bloom anyways in the game, right? So maybe this will actually help some of you guys out. But for the most part, that is the main core changes to it. And then there's also a bug fix that fixed an issue where sometimes the storm in phase 6 would do 1 less damage than intended. Again, these are just bug fixes, but it's important to know. And it says it fixed replication issues caused by interacting with a guided missile. So I think that what this is, and I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about if you guys have used the guided missile. When you would shoot sometimes, if you would build yourself in a box, you would shoot it, it would just hit like the box right in front of you. Even though you would aim up in the air when you would shoot the rocket launcher, it would just hit yourself. It was definitely a bug, but that's definitely something good. So that's actually important. There's actually a few bug fixes. This is more for like basically game breaking things. So here's one. It says the weapon fire position is now more closely follows the actual player position when crouching and uncrouching. This is basically a nerf to the crouch peeking mechanic, which you can still technically do. They've been nerfing crouch peeking forever, and it still tends to exist in the game anyway, so I feel like it's going to be kind of difficult to fix at the end of the day. By the way, the gameplay that you guys are going to be seeing is not, I should have mentioned this I guess in the beginning, but anyways, there was a lot of issues with the server crashing. This is like the only, like, I would say better gameplay that I have that like actually had like a full like game with me actually picking up the new double barrel shotgun in the beginning. But anyways, that said, they also did a few different things. It's just like bug fixes, but there's another fix with crouch peeking, which it says crouch does not interrupt emotes anymore and is disabled when emoting. So again, these are just bugs that people were using when they would do an emote in between using a certain like I guess animation, and basically they're just nerfing it. It's usually not something that most average players do anyways, and you can still crouch peek though. It's not like it's completely removed from the game. But there's also just other bug fixes. It says certain player models will no longer obstruct camera angles or block crosshair on slopes, which is obviously up or down an area. But these are just small things. Trap selection will no longer unintentionally cycle when switching to available traps. But these are bug fixes that aren't really that big of a deal. Slurp juice will no longer continue to heal or provide shields after being knocked down. That can kind of be like a big deal because if you pop a slurp then you go down, normally you'd be able to heal, which is actually kind of cool. But that was like the only one that I felt like was worth mentioning. The other ones were just issues with the game that I think overall people will just agree with. Anyways, the next thing I really wanted to mention quickly is this new limited typo. That's also a new thing that is technically in the latest patch over here, which is 5.2. So it makes it so the steady storm has one consistent moving storm on the island. I think that it just goes in towards the center, at least that's what I was seeing when I was playing. Like I said, last night the game was a little bit buggy because like the new patch just came out, so a lot of people were crashing in the game, even when I was trying to do 50 versus 50s. By the way, for those of you guys that do ask why I play 50 versus 50s when I make these videos, is because there's a higher loot pool, as in like the loot will be a bigger chance to drop items because there is more loot in general in 50s. So if you want to test out the new gun, the best way to do it is just go into 50s or 50s. Like I said, a lot of people were disconnecting last night, but that probably has been fixed because Epic Games is actually pretty fast. But basically, it's a storm that closes in on, I would say the center, but I think it's supposed to move, but again, might have been an issue. But anyways, the storm does 10 damage per second, which I will be getting you guys gameplay of that pretty soon. It's not really too big of a difference, but profile, stats, KD, and challenges are tracked in this one. In fact, challenges are tracked in every single mode except for Playground, to my knowledge. But I just want to go over some of the newer skins that are coming out. Here's like a little like snippet of all of them, but kind of want to go into every single one. This one's kind of good. It's like the burger. Apparently, this is kind of like a recolor of the panda skin that we had, like the, I think it was during Valentine's Day, it was that pink one. And there's like a jazzercise girl over here. And some other ones. Looks like Young Genji for those of you guys that played Overwatch. Reminds me of that. And then we got like the biker guy. I think this one actually is like a recolor anyways. And then we got another one of those, like, I want to say it's like the 70s, 80s, 60s. I don't know. Basically, it's a themed skin. And then here's like a female version of the same like biker skin. And again, here's like a overview of them all. Except for the Galaxy one. The Galaxy one is actually pretty cool over here, as you guys can see. This one is animated. But yeah, those are the new skins coming to Fortnite, as well as all the patch notes. And real quickly, to just give you guys my thoughts on the new shotgun. Do I think it's OP? I don't think it's like super OP because it takes so long to reload, and technically you're going to be kind of bursting your shots anyways with a shotgun. And the way the new shotgun works is it reloads both of them, but it's very long. Before, like, you can shoot a shotgun, put one in the shell, shoot another one, and it's much faster. I think it's kind of cool, but again, since you can't, like, quad pump and do those things, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But, I mean, it is still definitely a good gun. By any means, it's worth picking up. It's not trash. But I just don't think it's, like, super OP, and it's not really that game-breaking, in my personal opinion. The spread is so large that even when you're aiming down sights, it reduces it a little bit, but it's just not as good, in my personal opinion, and as consistent, which is the key word here, as the heavy shotgun if you actually are good at aiming. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on the new double barrel shotgun. If you guys have played it, let me know, guys, if you think it's OP. Is it your new favorite shotgun? For me, the heavy shotgun is still going to be my personal favorite because it's consistent. Because again, you're not going to be able to one-shot someone anyways, and I think it's much more consistent to shoot someone, get a bunch of damage with a shotgun, swap to a submachine gun or another gun like a Tommy gun, and just finish people off. Again, that's my personal take on it. You guys can let me know how you feel about the new shotgun down below. Let me know what you guys think of the new skins. Personally, for me, there's not really a new skin that I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta have it. Zoe is still my #1 skin. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the vid. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to be updated with the latest Fortnite news, as well as seeing gameplay of the new Fortnite weapons and gadgets. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm signing out.